Okay, time now for the last press conference this morning. Joey Ramsden joins me, trainer of Variety Club, who will be running in the Godolphin Mile. Joey, thank you for coming here this morning. And first up, how's the horse sort of ready for Saturday night?
Yeah, everything's gone great. We've had, 9 weeks of carnival prep, and we've never missed a day, and everything's been pretty smooth. So you can't ask for anything more than that. And just happy with the way it's gone, really. When you don't miss any days, touch wood, through injury, sickness, or anything else, you just can't get any better than that.
And obviously, a degree of expectation on a horse that was a dual South African Horse of the Year. Is there a bit of extra pressure, knowing that you want the horse to do himself justice?
Yeah, well, you always put enough pressure on yourself, but obviously getting beat last time took a bit of the pressure off. He was on a winning streak he had done 9 in a row, and he was going for 10, so that took a bit of it off. And then copy a wide draw of 15 or 16. Thankfully it takes it out of my hands, and I just have to leave it to the pilot Anton Marcus, and he's got to come up with a cunning plan.
Okay, so what cunning plan do you? It's not an episode of Blackadder here, but anyway, what is the cunning plan that you may have to work out?
The cunning plan is more cunning than a weasel. Okay. I actually haven't spoken to him. He's been hibernating in his room, obviously working out this very cunning plan. But Anton's a very forward-running jockey, very forward-thinking jockey, so I'm sure it'll involve going forward at some point, but maybe not quite chasing the pace as he has done in the past, and being a little bit more relaxed about it. We just have to ship in some Valium.
Okay, right. But, obviously this horse has achieved so much back home. So, is everything now a bonus, or you want him to do justice?
No. I'd like him to do justice. I'd like to think he's a little bit better on the turf. But we decided to go his favoured distance, or what people perceive to be his favoured distance, a mile. So, I'd like to maybe have gone a little bit further, but, so we're doing, on the Tepita, which he's won on, and let's be honest, it was a very good second behind an improving filly who obviously plainly likes the surface. So, there's that, and I'd like to think there's some further improvement in there somewhere.
So, what might be the plan after this particular week, or is it just...
The plan is this, obviously. It's obviously big prize money, and this is the plan. Hopefully, then maybe the Hong Kong Mile, and then maybe he'll go off and do some things in Europe and America.
So there's a lot of air miles to be.
There's a lot of air miles to be had. I'm not sure I'll be involved in it, but there's a nice plan ahead of him for retiring to stud.
So, but you're in the short term, you're quite excited about as long as aside from the draw, he's ready to do himself justice.
Yeah. He's in tip-top condition. I wouldn't be any happier with him. He's bouncing, and he looks amazing. As I said, when you have not just 9 weeks, from the day he steps off the aeroplane from the UK here, he's not put a foot wrong. Nothing's gone wrong, and when things go that smoothly for you, things couldn't be any better.
Okay. Any questions?
He works on the treadmill at home quite a lot. You've been utilising the treadmill here. Has he been working on it?
Yeah, Mike's very much. I am too, but Mike's very much. He's a little bit wary of the Tepita track, so he'll certainly do two days of that a week here.
And then in the last start, there was a query about him perhaps loading and getting very early and getting a bit fractious. Have you requested that they load him a bit later, or not really?
Yeah, of course we requested that we loaded him later. It's quite hard to get through here. It's a shame because, he's got a lot of red ink on his passport from South Africa, where he had his starting stall certificate removed when he won the Guineas. So, it's plain to see that people have put in a lot of work to get his certificate back, and that he can be not an awkward loader, but an awkward customer standing in there. He's a horse that spent a lot of his time, catching some fairly wide draws and things in his life. So it's like Pavlov's dog. You've taught him to jump and go, and so when you're loading him, that's what he's been taught to do.
Following on
we we did consider it, but ultimately that factor was left to Derek Brookman, Marcus's racing manager, and Anton. And Anton was happy that he could load him as well, and as calmly without Milan. So that was the decision we took.
When you say you might not be involved in his future career, what does that mean?
Well, I think he might then go on. Obviously, Mike's got the setup in the UK and everything else, and it then becomes very hard for me to train horses from South Africa. So,
Was that your decision?
was that my decision? Well, I have to accept the fact that I'm living however many kilometres away, and go with that part of that. So. Would I like to have carried on? I probably would like to have carried on. Of course I would do. But, when you're sitting with another 100 horses back home, it's very hard to be selfish just for the one.
If he goes to Champions Mile, will you still involved at that stage?
No, I don't think so. I think he'll probably go over to Mike, I think, then.
Was loading the only explanation for the performance on Super Saturday, or was there more people?
No, I don't. I just think again he caught a wide draw. The loading didn't help. He did hit his head quite hard, and I think they did quite a good job of keeping him out wide, and keeping him running and making him work hard to gain a decent position. And I think a couple of all those factors that didn't help, but he might have had a slightly flat run on the day as well. I'm not going to deny that, but he still ran second, and it wasn't the worst performance in the world. I think if I'd been training the other 14, I think I'd have left far more disappointed than me, who ran second.